Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting video. We are going to get into our 3 looks 1 palette using the Alva eyeshadow palette from Oden'S. Look at the beauty of this palette, look at how stunning this outside packaging is. I love the feel of the palette. It feels really textured and just really nice to touch. And the little fairy and everything like that, I think it's beautiful. All the names are on the back as people who already own this because this is not a new palette. And it is neutral. Shocking, I know. I did get this in a mystery box, so I didn't actually pick this one out, and I probably wouldn't have picked it out because it is the more neutral one, but now that I have it, I love it. I think it's a great neutral palette for someone like me. If you're like me, where you like colour, you like a bit of grunge, this is a good neutral palette for you because you have the elements there to pull something out. And as I've done here, this is a softer, grungy kind of look for me. And I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect one for autumn as well because you have those yellowy orangey tones, more berry tones in here. You get a really good look. You do a really nice berry lip with this as well if you wanted to with this palette, and you've got your everyday neutrals as well. So I'm excited to get into this. This is the first look that we are doing and I have 2 more planned and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to use those yellow shades. I'm so excited. So obviously stay tuned to see how I did this look and 2 other looks in this video using the same palette and see how many looks we can come up with this palette. If you want to see any pictures of this look, they will be up on my Instagram sometime after the video goes live. I'm not too sure exactly, but they will go up soon. And I do up close eye pictures, full face pictures and all that jazz. Also, don't forget to subscribe down below to see many more videos. I think I've 2 more palettes this month coming up, hopefully anyway. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited the other 2 because they're very autumn-esque, definitely more autumn than this as well. Even though this, I would say this is like an autumn neutral palette, the others are even more autumnal than this. I'm so excited. So hit subscribe down below to see all that jazz coming up. And let's get into look number 1. Okay guys, so let's get into look number 1 using the beautiful Alva palette from Oden'S. Today I'm kind of feeling more mauvey than the first look I did, which was mauvey but had like a little bit of neutral in it. I'm feeling this little row here, so cherry blossom, dahlia and peony, and maybe a bit of lotus to blend it out. And I'm feeling, guess what? A halo eye. So I've already got my skin on, which is all listed down below, as well as my brows and my eyeshadow primer. I have my blush and bronzer on, but I'll still show you at the end what I used. So we're just going to start straight away. So I'm going to start with the shade Peony down here because we used Morning Glory before, which is the warmer one, and Peony is a little bit more purple, so I want to try that first. I'm taking that on a 221 from MAC, just a small skinny blending brush, which I love for doing my halo eyes, and we're just going to pop this along the outer corner, bring it into the crease a little bit. I don't know how dramatic I want this to be, we'll kind of just go and see. I might do it a little bit on the softer side. I mean, I say soft for me, but this is just going to go on the outer corner, bring it in just a smidgy into the crease. I don't want to bring it all the way across, just a little bit in. And don't worry about blending out the edges because we'll use the other shade for that. Then take the same shade on the same brush. You can use a smaller brush if you like. I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner. And again, bring it into the crease a little bit and just build it up until you're happy. Okay, so now I'm going to take Lotus here, which is that lighter, more dusty mauvey kind of shade. And I'm taking that on a 217 from MAC, so a slightly bigger fluffy brush. This will kind of purple it up a little bit, because although that first shade is purple, it still has a little bit of neutral in it. So this will just give us a nice dusty kind of haze around the edge, and we're just going to start on the edge of that darker shade and slowly fluff that out. And I'm bringing that right across the whole crease, just to give a bit of depth in the crease. I didn't want the first colour there because I don't want too much depth. I still want it to be a bit more on the rounded side. And then same in here, just give that a little blend along that edge. That's such a pretty tone. Okay, that blended so easy, and it is a little bit on the softer side, which I'm happy about. Okay, so I want to do the lower lash line a little bit. I'm going to go back in with Peony again, and I'm going to take that on a small brush I have here from number 7. This is a smoky eye brush, a super small little pencil brush. So just taking some of that because it's really small. I'm going to run that along the whole way across the lower lash line because I think the last time I did a mauvey kind of halo eye, I did do a gap in the middle, but I want to be a bit different this time, so we'll do the whole way across. Okay, so then going back to Lotus. I really like that Lotus shade. It's a very me kind of colour. I'm taking that on a MAC 219 brush, a small little pencil brush, or a bigger pencil brush than what we used already. And we're just going to use that to blend out the edge like what we did on top. And you can re-intensify any of your darker colour, any of your lighter colour, just see how you want it to blend. I actually do want this to be a little bit on the softer side, for me anyway. So we're going to go in with some glitter primer. This is the Too Faced Glitter Insurance for the shimmers on the lid, as I always do. And I'm going to just use my finger to apply that just to the center of the lid where we don't have any product. I'm going to do one eye at a time just so I have enough time to apply all my colours, because I'm going to use 2 shimmers. So once it's nice and tacky, I'm going to take Cherry Blossom first, which is, it's more of a pinky rusty kind of shade. I'm taking that on an e.l.f. C brush. It's like a big dense flat brush, taking a little bit of that, and that's going to go right next on either side to those mattes. I just want to see these 2 colours, see what they're like. Just make sure you leave a gap in the middle, as I usually do with Halo Eyes, where I use a couple of shades on the lid. And then same on this side here, just go in with a little bit right along where it meets that matte, overlapping a little bit as well. That's so pretty. Depending on what way it hits the light, it's like more rusty or more like more red or more pink or more plummy. Depends on how it's the light. That's so pretty. Then I'm going to go in with Dahlia, which I'm very excited to use this one here. And I'm going to take that on my finger just because I'm going to use my baby finger for the middle just to be precise with it. And that's just going to get pressed right down that center part there. That'll just give us an extra highlight in the middle so it makes the eye look super round. Then just taking a little bit more of Peony, the darker shade, on that same brush we used for the darker shade, and just press that over where that overlaps with the shimmer just to get a nice blend. Okay, so then just to finish off, I was going to use Lilac again as my inner corner highlight, but it's a bit on the cool tone side, so I'm actually going to stick with Dahlia, I think. I think that'll just be nice to tie it in. And I'm taking that on an accent brush from Real Techniques. And that's just going to get popped on that inner corner just to tie it all together. How pretty is that as an inner corner highlight? Oh my god, it's like, it has a lot of colour to it, but I think just with the tones in this, ooh, it's very like soft romantic autumn vibes, and I'm loving it. Okay, so that is it for shadows. Very simple, very quick look. So I'm going to jump off and I'm going to finish off my eyes, finish my cheeks, and do a lip. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do a berry lip? Soft berry? Maybe. We'll try something and I'll let you know what I use when I come back. Okay guys, so this is how I finish off the look. Let me quickly go through everything that I used on my face because I am loving this. It's still dramatic, like there's nothing natural about this, but it's softer than I normally go, especially with my Halo Eyes. But these colours are just giving me all the berry tone vibes that are just softer for autumn. So let me just tell you what I used. So as usual, I didn't do any upper lash line liner because I don't tend to do that with my Halo Eyes. I just prefer how it looks without it. But I did on my waterline use the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick in the shade Dusty Mauve, which is basically a perfect colour for this. I don't know how to describe it. It's a dusty mauve. It's perfect. It comes out exactly this colour. And I just popped that on my waterline. Then my mascara is my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, just on my top and my bottom lashes. For my false lashes then, I use these. This is like a really old box that I have. These are the House of Lashes Smoky Muse. So they're super dense right in the roots. And then just have these feathery bits right at the edge, but they're really dense in the root. And I just thought I wanted that real smoky sort of vibe to the eye. Then onto cheeks for my bronzer that I did at the beginning. I used cream, and that's why I did it at the beginning. I used my Huda Beauty Tantour Contour Bronzing Cream in the shade Fair, the lightest shade. It's quite deep, quite strong, but I do love it. I love the texture of it. Then for my blush, I wanted also cream as well, which is also why I did it at the beginning. And I used Pale Pink from Bobbi Brown, which is one of the cream blushes, and I just think the tones just tie in nicely with this, just give a bit of colour, a bit more on the cooler tone side. I didn't want to go too warm with it, keeping with the cooler mauvey tones. And then for highlighter, Old Reliable, I use my MAC Double Gleam highlighter. If you don't know why I hold it like this, it's because this bit has actually like fallen out of it, but it's still intact, so I'm still using it. I do have another one there, but I love this so much, I will never run out of this. I'll always try and have it with me. But it's a MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Double Gleam. Super soft, super shiny, kind of nothing colour, but the beaming highlight for pale skin. Then on to my lip pencil. I had a bit of a hard time. I did want to go for a berry tone, but not super, super dark and not super, super pink or purple or anything like that. I want to be very in the tone of the eyes. So I went in with my MAC lip pencil in Plum, which is like a browny, purpley, greyish kind of shade, just to line my lips, and I filled them in with that as well. And then for lipstick, I knew I was going to use this sort of colour, but I didn't want it to be, this comes out a little bit pinker, so that's why I used that lip pencil. So I used the NYX Butter lipstick in the shade Root Beer Float. which is just this perfect pinky soft rose sort of shade, and paired with the pencil, it's perfect. And it didn't need a gloss because the lipstick is glossy. Okay guys, so that is look number 1 using the Alva palette from Oden'S. I'm loving it. I love the packaging. I've spoken all about this already, but I love it. I think this is a really nice neutral palette for someone like me, because there is little elements of colour and I can get a colourful, well, a coloured look out of the palette even though it's on the neutral side. I think it's a beautiful palette. I'm very excited. I'm really excited to get into these tones here just to see what kind of look I come up with. I do have a general look in mind, and maybe something actually neutral then. I don't know. There's a couple of shades I want to use. So yeah, I'm excited. So that was look number 1. As I said in the beginning, the pics will be on Instagram for the look, so it's linked down below. And let's see how look number 2 goes. I think we might do the yellow in that one. Okay guys, so we're going to get into look number 2 using the Alva palette from Oden'S, and this is the first look I instantly thought of when I opened this palette, and it is these 3 colours right here. Just those 3. The super bright sunny yellow, the shade Sunflower, which is like an orange with a lot of yellow in it, and then the shade Golden Tulipa, I think. And yeah, it's going to be a super simple eye, nothing too fussy with it, just place them where you think we're going to place them. That's exactly how we're going to do it. And yeah, we're going to get straight in. I've already primed my eyes, done my brows, done a bit of skin, so that's all listed down below so you can see what I used there. So I'm going to start with Daisy, which is going to be pretty much my only crease colour, unless I feel like I want to deepen it. I might use Morning Glory, but I don't know. We'll see how the shimmer goes on the lid. That'll be what tells me. And I'm picking that up on a brand new 6SS from Inglot, which I love. And I'm taking that, just pop that into the crease. We're going to blow this right out. We want this to be super soft, super blendy. Still want there to be, you know, colour impact, but just really blendy. Blendy is a technical term, by the way. Just saying. It's a technical term I use as a makeup artist. Blendy. So I'm just starting by packing through the crease the whole way across and onto the outer corner as well. This is such a beautiful tone of yellow. Okay, so now I'm taking the same shade again, and I'm loving this yellow. This is such a beautiful tone. And I'm going to take that in a 214 from MAC, just to get as much impact as I can on the lower lash line. Again, I don't really want to deepen this look if I can help it. I'd rather keep it this with the shimmer on the lid, but we'll just see how it looks. And this is going to do the same on the lower lash line. So we're just going to pack it on and then blow it out until I'm happy. And then once I have that packed on the way I want it to be, I'm going to take my 6SS again, just with a little bit more of that product. And we're just going to go in and blend along that. You can use a way smaller brush if you want to, but I like mine blown down quite far. So we're just going to go with this. And my 6SS still has a point to it, so I'm going to utilize that sharpness of the brush, but I just want it to be super blendy. Again, blendy, technical term. Okay, so now we're going to go straight into shimmer. This is pretty much the crease done and the lower lash line done. I'm just going to do shimmer and inner corner. It's a super simple look. So NYX glitter primer. I'm just going to pop it on with my finger because ain't nobody get time for brushes. So just pressing that all over the empty lid, and again, I don't want any harshness, so I will be blending the yellow again into this shimmer. I just want to see how much colour I can get out of this shimmer, because I would like to not have to deepen the crease, as I said. Okay, so while that's still a little bit tacky, I'm going to go in with Sunflower, which is the most beautiful yellowy orangey shade. I'm taking that on a 239 from MAC as well. And I'll just go from there. Oh, that's beautiful. By the way, if you've got blue eyes, prepare yourself. Oh my god, yes, that is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want there to be, like, obviously I want there to be pigment and I want the tone of the shadow to come out, but it was quite a dark orange compared to the yellow. I'd need something to deepen it then on my eyes anyway, but this is ideal. Oh my god, yes. Just take a little dab of Daisy on my 6SS and just go around those edges just to make sure there's no harshness. I want it all just to flow from shimmer into matte all the way around. How stunning is that? Like, it's like the colour a yellow leaf goes. Oh my god, it'd be such a fun springy colour as well, but I'm going to do a more burnt orangey kind of lip to kind of tie it more into the time of year we're in. Okay, so as I said, nothing too fussy with this look, super simple. I'm going to go in with Golden Tulipa. this one here. So this is like a neutral, but it has more of a gold fleck through it. And I'm going to take that on a, what are you, 231 from MAC. It's a little lip brush, I think, but I'm just going to use that as my inner corner brush. And that is going to go on my inner corner. So it'll have the super nice bright shine, kind of a neutral base, and then that little gold fleckle will just pop right through. Okay, I'm done. I felt like I was in here for like no time at all. That's insane. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to finish off the eyes, put a pair of lashes and all that kind of jazz on, do a bit of cheek, do a bit of lip, and see how it all turns out. Alrighty guys, so this is how I have finished off the look. I am so happy with how this turned out. This lip definitely made it more autumn kind of vibe. I think so anyway, because it was a little bit on the springy side at first, but dear God, am I obsessed with these colours. Jesus, I thought I might have had to deepen a little bit, but I'm so happy I don't have to, and I'm so happy it's very monochrome on the eye. I love it. So, to finish off the eyes, I didn't do any upper lash line liner because I wanted it to be just all softness on the eyes, and I went in with my MAC Technicolor liner in the shade Risque, so it's a twist up nude pencil. Any nude pencil will do. Pop that on my waterline to really open up the eyes a little bit more. Then for my mascara, I used my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara just to pop on my top and my bottom lashes, mostly my bottom, but a little bit on the top as well, just to blend into my lashes. And then for lashes, I used my Kiss Look So Natural Flirty lashes. I have a whole multi-pack set of them. I'm on my second pair right now. Could probably do it going on to my third pair. But I love, these are one of my favourite pairs of lashes to wear because they're just so soft, so comfortable, so easy to wear. They go with most looks, and I put them with this one. Then onto cheeks, I use my Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder in the shade Ambra, which is this one here, because it has a little bit more of that yellowy undertone to it, just a little bit, and I thought it would tie in nice with all the tones we have going on here. Then onto blusher, I use my MAC blush in the shade Modern Mandarin. This is quite an orangey tone blush. When it goes on, it's very orangey peach, more orange than peach, but still has a peach undertone to it. But when I put my highlighter on, I was like, oh, this has all come together beautifully for me. And then for highlight, I used my Oden'S Soul Mon, I think it's Soul Mon palette, the highlight palette, and I used the shade Mon, this one, the one that has like the yellowy gold reflex of it. It looks white, but it has a yellowy gold reflex for obvious reasons. That's why I used that one. And then onto lip, when I picked out the eye for this palette, I knew exactly which lip I wanted to pair with it. So I used my Chicory lip pencil from MAC, which is a soft burnt orange. And then I used this, which I also got in the mystery box with the palettes. So I got the Oden'S what are you called? Matte Lip Stain. Essentially a very thin liquid lipstick. A little bit on the drier side, I will say. It's a little bit drier feeling than others that I have, but it's a beautiful colour. It looks beautiful. I'm comfortable enough to wear it. It's just, I just noticed that as I'm wearing it. But this is Ripe Papaya. So it's a beautiful burnt orange shade, like the perfect burnt orange for this time of year, even in summer as well if you wanted it. But this, with this, just made it all the vibes. So that is look number 2, but my third look technically overall, including my first impressions, but my second look of this video using the Alva palette from Oden'S. I'm so excited to get into another look. I think we're actually going to go more neutral, way more neutral than I have with the other looks, so I'm excited. I might use some of these shades up here, so yeah, I'm excited. This was my little colourful look that I wanted to do. Definitely had to dip into those yellow shades. So if you want to see the up close pictures, as I said in the beginning, they're all on my Instagram, link down below. And let's see what we do with look number 3. Probably neutral, but let's see what happens. Okay guys, so let's get into look number 3 with the Alva palette, and I'm so excited for this one. We're gonna go more neutral though. More neutral than we have been already. So I'm actually kind of feeling Coffee Bean. I love the name. Jasmine up here as well. I might use this neutral, see how it is against my skin because I'm quite pale. And I'm either going to use Baby Breath or Carnation. And then if I want to, I might use something like Peony or Morning Glory to deepen it up a little bit, give us a little bit more colour. I don't know, we'll see. And it's probably just going to be a standard smoky-ish kind of eye with a winged liner and all that jazz. So I already have my skin, brows and eyeshadow primer on, which is all listed down below so you can see what I used down there. So we're just going to start. Okay, so I'm going to start with my lightest shade actually, which I haven't done in a while. I'm going to start with the shade Jasmine. I just want to see how this colour turns out on the actual eye against my skin tone, because this is a great either blending colour for me, transition shade, or even just an all over base colour kind of thing. I don't do base colours, but you know, just like a neutral eyeshadow when I don't want to look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. And I'm taking that on a BH Cosmetics Rose Gold number 5 brush, a super big fluffy brush, and we're just gonna blend that through the crease. Is it showing up? A little bit, yeah, actually has a little bit of a like rosy blushy kind of colour. And what I am going to do is I'm really going to wing this out because I'm going to do a winged liner, so I want to really emphasise that. And because it is a bit more neutral, I want to make it a little bit more dramatic. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Morning Glory, which is just a warm terracotta kind of shade. We can use the shade Peony to deepen it even more if we want to, but we're just going to go with this for now and see how we get on. I don't necessarily want this to be super dark. I want it to be just a bit more than a normal neutral eye that you would think to do. And I'm going to take this on a BH Cosmetics Rose Gold number 6 brush, so a step down in size from that last brush that we used. And I'm just going to work that on the outer corner first and then bring that through the crease. And once I have that on, I'm going to just fluff that out. It's so funny the difference between this shade now when I use this shade to blend it out, or like that lighter jasmine shade, the more neutral shade, or the shade, what was it I use? Or the shade Camellia, which is a bit, obviously a deeper colour as well, but a pink. Made it look more rosy, but now it looks more warm brown. Then just taking my bigger fluffy brush that we used for the lighter shade and just use that to blend around all your edges. These do blend into each other really nicely though. But it's just this bit out here, whenever I'm doing a winged out shape, I always like to just really make sure it's blended. Okay, so we're sticking with that Morning Glory shade, the darker shade. I'm taking this on a K10 brush from Cash Beauty, a small little smudgy brush. And we're going to just run that along the lower lash line. So just getting this as close to the lashes as possible, connecting on that outer corner. And I'm going to bring it in about 2/3 of the way. And we're going to go back in with Jasmine, which is that lighter shade that we used at the beginning. I'm going to take that on the same brush I used for the very big fluffy brush. You can use a smaller brush if you want to, but I don't, so here we are. And I'm going to take that and we're just going to run that along the edge of that darker shade. You can re-intensify if you need to, but we're just trying to get a really nice blend going under here. And yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit more of the Morning Glory and just re-intensify that colour, just to make sure we're still nice and smoky under here. Okay, so we're going to get into some shimmers now. So we're going to go with some glitter primer. So with Too Faced Glitter Insurance, off we go. And I'm going to just pop this on with my finger because I'm not doing a cut crease or anything like that. I want this to be just blendy, as a lot of my looks have been, but I've been just in that kind of mood. So I'm going to go in with the shade Coffee Bean up here, which is way more golden than the shades we have on right now. So I may deepen it up a little bit. It's maybe a little bit more deep than you would think to put on with these sort of colours. You might want to go a little bit darker with your like outer corner and stuff like that. But I think with the shimmer on, it will blend all together nicely. That's a beautiful shade. I've actually just decided to do just the outer 2/3 of the lid and then just leave that inner part blank for my lighter shade that I'm going to put into my inner corner. I'm going to wrap it around the whole eye. And speaking of doing that, we're going to go in with Baby's Breath, this one right next to it, just as a shimmer. Like there is two shimmers, this one and Carnation, look very similar to each other. On the eye they do look a little bit different, but not that much different. I don't know if you need both in a palette necessarily, but I'm going to use Baby's Breath. I think that tone will go nicely with that Coffee Bean shade. I'm taking that on a Real Techniques detail brush, just a small little flat brush, and we're just going to pop that on the little gap in here. And these should just blend seamlessly into each other because they have a very similar tone. They're both brown, essentially. They're both neutral, so there's no real heavy blend that you need to do with them. And they're both shimmers, so the shimmers always blend into each other a little bit easier. I'm also picking up a little bit of that same shade, pop that just around the inner corner, just around the tear duct, and then a little bit on that little gap in here. I want it to look like this is just wrapping around that whole inner section of the eye. And once I have all my shimmers in where I want them to be, I'm just taking a little bit of Morning Glory again, and we're just going to kind of stamp around the edges just to make sure there's no harshness, especially on this outer corner is most important. Okay guys, I think that is as dark as I want to go. I'll deepen it up if I feel like I need to off camera with maybe the peony shade, but I think once I put a bit of liner and lash on, I'm going to be happy with this. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to do my lashes, my cheeks, and my lips, and my liner as well, obviously. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what I use on the rest of my face. Alrighty guys, so this is how I finish off this look. I had a bit of a mishap on this side, so I'll probably take all my pictures from this side because my liner just wasn't happening and I had to keep cleaning it up. So the blend is not perfect on this side, just ignore that. All the photos will be taken from this side where the blend looks good, unless this side actually looks okay. I don't really mind then, it doesn't bother me. So let me go through everything that I actually used on my face. So for my liners then, I used my Hourglass waterproof eyeliner, just a liner pen, just to give me a nice wing liner. It kept messing up because I'm not used to felt tips anymore, I'm so used to my brush tips, so I've just had a hard time with it. Then for my waterline, I use my Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Rosy and Goldie. It's a really nice rosy gold, kind of matches that inner corner shade really nicely. Then my mascara is and has been the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, just top and bottom lashes to give me a nice defined look. And finally for the eyes, the lashes I used, they were $150 as you can see there. They are the PS Primark Beauty, that's what their brand is called, Double Trouble lashes. So they're double stack lashes and quite crisscrossy, so they look really cool, give loads of texture. Very soft right at the end as well, really like them. And then onto cheeks. For my bronzer, I use my very well loved Benefit Dallas bronzer. I think it's a blusher, but I use it as a bronzer, as I always say. And I just use that to give me a little bit of contour, a little bit of bronze, a little bit of colour to the face. My blush then, I just wanted something quite neutral, so I went in with my old reliable MAC Mineralized blush in Warm Soul. Super neutral, super nice, just warms up the cheeks really nice, great with these kinds of tones as well. And then I popped on a ton of highlight as per usual. I use my Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian. It's so bright, it's reflecting the lights, but it is a Super Shock, and I just popped that on my cheeks to give me a lovely glow. And then my lip, I did a bit of a combo because at first I was like, oh, I like it. Then I was like, oh, I don't think it matches. So then I added something else. So I went in first with my Huda Beauty lip contour in the shade Flirt. It's just a mid-tone brown liner. I line my lips, fill the whole thing in with this. And then this is the first time I'm wearing this actually. This is the Be Perfect Supreme Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade All the Sass. I did think it was going to be lighter though. It looked lighter on the website than it actually is, but it is essentially this colour, this dark as well. So yeah, I popped that on, but then I was like, ooh, it's a bit too brown and not warm brown like the way the tones I have going on up here. So just to the colour up a little bit, I actually went in with this guy. This is a limited edition matte gloss. Any colour, this kind of colour will do. This is Nutty and Naughty. It came out with their Nutcracker collection, but any rosy pink will give you this kind of look. Okay guys, so that is our The Relux One palette using the beautiful Alva palette. All this has done is made me want more palettes from them, which I shouldn't, but I do want them. I really do. I want the two other bigger palettes, the one that has a bit more colour in it, and definitely the Norns one that came out. And I want that green Norns mini palette, the one that came out with the Norns collection, that green one with the silver in it. Really want that, very Slytherin vibes. And I want one other of the smaller palettes and the other highlight palette. That's all it's made me want to do with this mystery box. It's made me want to buy more, which is exactly what they intended, and I love it. I'm so happy with my looks and how they turned out. What was my favourite one? I think the second one was the most interesting. I really liked that one. Love me a good halo eye, but I feel very 90s glam in this. It's more glam than the 90s were, but I do feel the tones I'm feeling right now, very coffee-like. So yeah, in the comments down below, let me know what your favourite is. Did you like look number 1, our beautiful mauvey halo eye? Did you like look number 2, our weird yellow with our burnt orange lip? Or did you like number 3, the 90s coffee vibes? Also let me know down in the comments what you think of the video, and is there any palettes that I'm missing from Oden'S that you think I should have that I would probably like? I think the ones I told you are the ones I'll probably like the most anyway, but you let me know what you have down below. If you did like this video, give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easy way to give me a little bit of support, get me around to more people, and also let me know you like the video so I will continue to do more. And I still have a ton of palettes. I'm still not through them yet. Also, as I said in the beginning, the pictures of this look and every look in this video will be up on my Instagram at some point, sometime after the video goes live. I'm trying to get back on track with my Instagram and trying to upload as frequently as I did last year anyway, so you can see way more stuff up there and all the up close details of all the looks. And as I also said in the beginning, hit subscribe down below. I have many more videos coming up, many more palettes to do. We are not out of the woods with the palettes because the collection's just growing. It's growing. So hit subscribe down below to see all that, plus monthly Lush videos. Woohoo! I am so happy about that. And I will see you in the next video, guys.